Good day, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Syn's Arcade. This is the Lord of Syn, and today we are coming back to Star Traders 4X Empires, the interactive Let's Play. So I wanted to thank you guys all for making last episode very indeed well. Let's see here. Just make sure I'm doing the right one. All right. I have a mission and plan. Didn't see that one. Okay, I'm following a new colony. We're not going to do Fletcher Cross just yet. Let's go ahead and look here. All right. Nothing in the new event because all I did was load it up and went to here, waiting for the recording to start. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is a 4X game, as I've mentioned before, which stands for, it's a turn-based strategy game where you deal with an empire. In this case, made up of 3 different factions or families. Think of Dune in space with a little bit of Alien, a little bit of Starship Troopers, maybe some Warhammer 40k. I mean, it's kind of a lot of influences here, and that's not a bad thing. Alright, we are going to... I have already named a couple of the ships already for several of our viewers, which I as a showing of dedication and gratitude on my behalf towards the people who are... Oh, that's right, I've got to go up here with him. Alright, Lendar actually needs to go up here so that he can search that. Nope. There we go. Shivel can come back down here and refuel. And you're already parked there. Alright, the woozy tray is parked there. Okay. I am going to rename a colony here, though. I did state that, or I will on the next colony that we do. That's what it's going to be. That's right. Okay, so let's get this all done. We're on this round. Go back just to make sure that we're on the same page with how we're at. 96 turns. So 1 turn left. Now, if you remember correctly from last episode, I did mention that once this got to 1 turn or even 0 turns, that I was going to grab one of these. In this case, I'm going to grab Reichart because of the Spy Academy. Believe me, it costs 1,000. By the time that we're able to build it and everything's kind of settled back down between all of our 3 current prime systems, then we can start working on this to help get a massive leap ahead. Now, this is not something that you normally are going to want to do, or maybe you will. It's entirely up to you. Maybe you want to go more as far as trade points and population. There's some research here as well. The Merchant Academy actually gives you a decent amount for trade across your, help with robust economy in that regard. As far as Kadar, they actually are going to help you with espionage and research, but they will also help unlock different portions for more Kadar-oriented military technologies, which are going to equate to better weapons or armor or what have you. So we're going ahead and start this. So now we have about 1 turn here, 13 turns here, and then roughly 200 turns here. So now we get that the 8 split between the 3. Going to go ahead and end our turn. Everybody's already moved who needed to move. And we're going to kind of burn through some things here. Just because I'm not going to read these anymore. I'm just going to leave them on screen long enough. If you want, you can pause the screen, and then I'll click through it like this. This is just explaining about the trade points. People left everything behind in the burnout galactic core. Well, that tells you a lot about what happened and what the event or what led to the exodus. The galactic core blew out. The supermassive black hole in it, I guess, evaporated, and therefore anything that massive, if it's a supermassive black hole, which are typically at the center of galaxies, we've never actually witnessed what would happen, but we have to assume that what would happen, should it actually completely dissipate, would be a pretty large explosion. That energy, that information can't be lost anywhere. It's got to go somewhere. It doesn't just completely dissipate. Alright, so that's just a science thing. Alright. Oh, I'm sorry. I should not. I clicked through this a little bit faster than I should have. My bad. forgot that this portion was a little longer. And this is talking about how your research points are generated. Again, if you own this version of Star Traders on any of the versions, everything that I've showed you just thus far can be played on the mobile versions, and that's on iOS, Android, iOS, or any Kindle devices through the Amazon Marketplace. And the other marketplaces respectively. You can also play this through Steam and on Linux through Desera, if I'm speaking properly on that. I know you can get it for Linux. I'm not sure if that's the proper platform name or not. So if I say it wrong, I apologize. Okay, we're up to 799 in credits in Treasury, and our research on Planetary Construction 1 is complete, which we knew was going to happen anyway. So we can go here and look and see what all are left, and at this point, the only thing that's left is the Planetary Construction 2 for the Spice Den, but right now we're split between two. And remember how this is going to take 200 turns? Well, that flopped it down because now it's just 1 of 2, so it's dropped down by half. So what'll happen is as soon as this gets closer to 1 turn, about 1 turn, 2 to 1 turn remaining, then I'll come back in and I'll do it this way. And the reason I'd like to do that is because as far as like even constructions, you probably don't want to go too far out. You can build in the queue pretty deeply, but I don't think that it's always a wise idea, especially if you're playing on a higher difficulty. You do not want to do that and overstretch your budget at all, by any means. They're already ready at housing. They're almost at overcrowding on their housing. And they're currently working on a mine, which they have 4 turns left on. So, but they're already looking at housing issues as well. And they're not working on anything. What do we have on the planet? We have one hab unit and 1 mine. They are doing okay there. I can't build. I guess I can build factories. My bad. Well, maybe that's the other thing I'm gonna have to come back here and look at too. Let's can I throw a factory on here? Nope, insufficient funds. That'll work though, at least for this turn. Okay, everybody's got to move to where they were moving to. As a matter of fact, hold on a sec. Oops, didn't mean to zoom in there, or give too much confusion. Let's go over here, Lendar, and come over here instead. And the reason I'm saying that is so that you can refuel, go all the way up to this anomaly, explore it, and go from there. We have a two red super giants and 2 white dwarves. Okay. Yes. Trying to keep the economy as a fluctuating thing. Right now, the maintenance is 120, which is why we're probably not making as much money as we could, because we're at 151 in our profit. But I guess our treasury's back up to 350. Let's look at. We didn't have any events. Let's see what the advisor has to say. We're in balance. We just need to now branch out to new systems. Alright, so let's go check here. And hold on. Alright, yeah, build 1. There's 2. 1 in this. I thought it would let me know how far along they are. Okay, 1 turn here. Alright, so 1 turn here. We're going to go to a factory, so they have something to do, because they only have 2 out of the max 5 slots of factories taken up. And the reason you want to build factories is so that your population has something to do beyond working at the mines. If they're working at the factories, that helps bring up your construction point value as well. Mining is going to actually help bring up your gross income that system makes. And obviously you need mines to be able to mine for those minerals to be able to trade. Eventually we'll have other units or other upgrades, buildings that we can build that help with spice production and distribution, that help with just trading all the way around too. And that was one of the things that I clicked through earlier. Alright, so everybody has moved or no? Oh hey, can I grab that information? Yes I can. So we have 2 red dwarves two red stars and 3 white. I'm just gonna call it that way. It's easier. I had a brain fart there for a second. I apologize. Alright, so check our research. 6 turns, so we'll check next time. 60% done. And I like to fluctuate I like to fluctuate for the research between a long period research and a short period one. And if, you know, hopefully as long as the numbers kind of almost even out, you're splitting it between those two. Sometimes you might need to add a third one in. It really just depends on how small it is comparatively compared to how much research you're generating on a turn-by-turn basis. Now this is explaining about the factories, but I just explained that to you. So additional construction points are created from mines, or from factories, pardon me, and this explains all of that. Again, if you're playing the game either on mobile or on PC of any kind, then you can read all through this as well. Especially if you follow suit on the same map that I've done, that's the reason why it's a tutorial. So I'm going to skip through the rest of this. Mining economy is a steady source of income, so obviously you want your factories and mines together. We're going to skip all of that. Kadar Prime installed a hab unit and we started work on the factory. We're going to go over here to Rideshare Prime and look and see how far they are. Of the two, that's why it's taking so long. You know what, we're going to cancel this hab unit for right now to give us 100 back. So we at least get our money back on the initial incursion cost. Not the maintenance, you'll never get your maintenance cost back, but at least it gave you that back there. Alright, so that should allow it 2 turns now, based on that. And they're doing okay there, and they're doing alright as far as the factories are concerned. And then what about Devaltos, who's working on a factory? That'll be their 3rd factory. Maybe I can get started on a mine after that. Do they only generate, 2? Wow, those factories are pretty expensive. 25, that's why. Ew, no wonder. 12 turns, roughly. Oof. Okay, so let's go back here. Really quick, I do want to go back and explain. There's 5 of 5 on spice here. That means they're quelled and satisfied. 5 of 3, which means there's more abundant spice on this planet than normal, and same with this one. So we kind of lucked out as far as that's concerned, because quabbling over spice becomes very quickly an issue that you're going to have to quell between the different factions. Alright, so Lendar finally pulled into port and around in orbit around their system, or at the space station, or whatever you want to call it, spaceport, and is currently, yeah, maybe a turn away from taking off and leaving out of there. Alright, so that's that. Let's go ahead and let's scoot around a bit here, and we're going to take Shivel. Shivel is going to go out and explore this white dwarf, and I'm going to move Woozy Trey. Woozy Trey, you're going to come up here and kind of just defend all 3 appropriately as best as possible. So that should be there. We're going to look at our research again, and 5 turns there. Our planets, I think we already did that, right? I just want to make sure. Alright, we're looking at 7 turns. I wish there was a way. I wish there was a way to go between all of the different colony projects, like you can on this screen, where you flip between them using these arrows. I wish that those arrow keys were also present on the actual colony production lists, if that makes any sense. That way I can easily scroll through without having to hit the back button. It's just a design aesthetic that would speed things up a little bit. Alright, so 7 turns there. That's right, look at that one. And 2 turns there. Let's go ahead and wait on that one, just because we only have 408 in there. Now let's look at this really quickly, and no politics are going on. Let's see if we can get a trade meeting going on. Again, the same things regarding subsidization as well as buying are here. So what we're going to do is we are going to subsidize our we have that there, and that took us down to, I didn't see how much money we have. 200. It did cost us 200. Okay, but gave us a 33 or 30, a third percent away there, done. 33% already done out of the 100. So we're good. All right, we are looking at maintenance is eating us alive on the ship quality and ship maintenance. Wow. Okay. All right, we're doing okay otherwise though. 11 out of 15 housing, 11 population to 15 housing units. There are 4 of the available 72 minerals, and so we had 2 trade points in commerce. The spice trade, we have enough spice for 15 population, which we're only at 11 populations, so there's more than enough spice all the way around for everybody. And then as far as espionage points, which is what we're currently over here in the espionage area, we're generating 5 espionage points, which is paying towards this current trade meeting. See the 5 VP, and because we subsidize, we're getting 33% because we paid more money up front to get it done faster. And then so we're building 1 treaty and have 0 faction politics on scale. Okay, so that's going to be the end of this turn. We're going to go ahead and end here. And that's going to obviously be the end of this episode as well. As I mentioned, I want to try to keep it we'll read all this next time. Actually, we won't read that next time because I'm going to exit here and go from that. Okay, this has been LordofSyn. If you've enjoyed this episode, don't forget to smack that like button around. Call it a few names if you want. That's up to you. You know, how else are you gonna, get them to submit to you? I'm just kidding. That's horrible. I'm playing too many 4X type of games and trying to get people to either bend to my will or not. Anyway, this is LordofSyn from Syn's Arcade. Thank you very much for watching thus far, and thank you very much for your support. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and share, helping this grow. And again, I'm still taking names for colonies because we still are going to be branching out here soon. Once we get the next spaceship area or next spaceship tech open, then we can start building colony ships and sending those out. So this is LordofSyn for Syn's Arcade, saying happy gaming, and I'll see you next time. Peace.